Okay, yeah. Share the screen. Let's see what we have done last day. Okay, so we have done the structural directive. Okay, so next today we will do the Hmm, let me open the folder. One-way data binding today we are doing. Okay, now one-way data binding means what? One-way data binding means there are two types of data binding. Data binding means we need to bind the data actually. Bind the data means we need to integrate. There are so many data in the scattered way. So we need to just integrate that data and come in one place. That kind of thing is a data integration. That means data binding. So there are two types of data binding. One is one-way data binding, another is two-way data binding. First, we will start the one-way data binding. Okay, let me see some theory I'm giving to you. Mm. Okay, one-way data binding is in one-way data binding, the data flow is one directional. Another features is that in the data binding, that suppose there are so many steps are there. Suppose first of all we are giving. Suppose we have one registration form, right? In the registration form, we filling our name, we filling our email address, we filling the what are the skill sets we have. So in the moment we submit that form is going to the database, stored in the database. But in one data binding, data is going through the one way. Suppose there is one way and two way road is there. You know that. In one way traffic, the cars are moving into one way. But in a two way traffic, the cars are moving to the opposite way also. That is the case in here. In one way data binding, data are moving that one way actually, not coming back to the opposite direction. That's why it is called one way data binding. That means when we submit the form, the data is going to the database, respective organization database. But the data we cannot fetch the data. That means the data cannot come to the from database to the again the user actually, user or the developer or anyone who want to see the form again. That means data will go one directional, not the opposite, not the both directional. That's why it is called one way data binding. Okay, I'm giving you just a bit theory. You can save it. See, I have given in the chat box. Yes. Here actually in one-way data binding, the data flow is one direction. This means that the flow of code is from TypeScript file to HTML file actually. And in order to achieve a one-way data binding, we used the property binding concept in Angular. In Angular, we have one property that is called binding. That means the data are actually coming in one place. Integration, that is called binding concept in Angular. Next is in property binding, we encapsulate the variable in HTML with square brackets. So when you binding the data, then we will use the square brackets that we already know. And next and the last point is we will understand this concept. Example. Okay, so I'm giving you the one project example on that one-way data binding. And two-way data binding is what? Two-way data binding is this means the data is coming from both the ways actually. Go and come. When we submit the form, the data will go to the database, and again, when the respective HR want to see your CV that is stored in the database, then he or she can fetch the data from the database and see in the browser, see in the UI. That is that data is going from the both way. So that is called the two-way data binding. So there are two, one and two-way data binding. Okay, that means the flow is bi-directional. Okay. Okay, first giving one-way data binding, then after that giving two-way data binding. Now go to the VS Code again. I'm giving you, I'm giving you in the WhatsApp, or I can give you in the yours chat box also. You need to download it. One-way data binding. Yes. No, I am giving in the chat box, Zoom chat box. Yeah, just download that file from the chat. That is a zip file. You need to download it and then you need to extract that zip file. Yeah. Ah, it has downloaded.
It is loading, downloading, okay.
Okay.
Progress,
Okay. Hmm.
60%.
Okay. Okay, now now go to the VS Code and then open folder and yes, select one. Okay, now mm, give me control. Don't need to do this. Okay, now expand the SRC, expand the app. Then we come to the app component HTML first of all. Okay, I think there has not been node modules. So first of all, we need to add the node modules. After that, we will understand the code. Okay, now I want to determine it should be npm install. First of all, we need to add npm install. So all the node modules library package, all the Angular supportive library package need to be installed. So that's why we will use the command npm install. Abdul, share the screen. It is still installing. Just wait. Okay, it will take some time. Okay, scroll up this terminal. Just scroll up this terminal. Yes, yes, okay. Okay, Abdul, just stop the screen sharing for 1 minute. I am just sharing the screen. Let it be installed. Okay. Hmm. Okay, just 1 minute. Okay, now I am going to the VS Code. In the VS Code, I am just opening the one-way data binding. One-way data binding. Okay, so this is the one-way data binding project. Okay, actually, I don't have also node modules. I need to install also. Okay, so basically what here we are doing, actually here we have one HTML file, we have the CSS file, we have done here little bit CSS, and we have done little bit coding in the HTML, and after that we are going to the app component.ts file, and after that app module.ts file. The app module.ts file. Okay, now we come to the app component.html. Inside the app component.html, first you see this is the we have done the interpolation. Interpolation means you have to bind the data. Title, name, address, ID, username, and user. All the parameters actually, these are the parameters. Title, name, address, ID, username, and user. All the parameters are actually we are creating. We are binding all the parameters. Data of the all parameters. That is called interpolation. After that, we want to bind the data. How can we bind the data? Style binding. That is called style binding actually. So image src item image URL, we are taking one URL, then style.width, just width. So for one styling of the image, we have width and we have height. Width and height. So style.width equals to width, style.height equals to height. And we have to give the third bracket. This is the data binding process. This is the style binding. And next line, what we are doing, image item one. This is the one image, then style.width and style.height height. And next we are just fixing the width and height, 200 pixel, and height will be 300 pixel. We are giving the value of the height and value of the width. And image item one is our image item one. Any one picture actually. In width is 200 pixel and height is 300 pixel. So next bind button disable state to is answers property. Okay. Now it is property binding. Now there is so many binding. That is it. We have done style binding. We have done data binding. That is called interpolation. Now we are doing the property binding. It is called a property binding. In property binding, what we are doing? Button. We are using one button. Button type button disable is unchanged. We are disabled actually. This is the binding. Disabled is unchanged. Click call function. We are using one function that is called call function. It is all kind of JavaScript actually. All kind of JavaScript that is called call function and disable button. I have written disable button. In the next line, it is called button. Then disable each unstained one. It is each unstained one and click call on. So it is the call function and there is another function I have taken. It's called call on. And after that, disable button 2. This is button 2. After that, enter the name. So I have taken the name, enter ID, enter address, and here enter the contact name. So name, employee ID, address, and contact of these 4 parameters I have taken. And after that, I have taken one color that is for by the ng style. Ng style means this is one kind of structural directive that I have told you in the previous day. Ng style is structural directive. Color value, color is red. And then ng class name in the class. And after that, we have taken one link, actually one URL link that is called PCS Global website link. And in the moment you click the link, you go to the PCS Global website. That is, we have taken one link, and after that, that's why we are taking the href value. And then last, we had taken button type submit. Then we have to submit the button. That's why button type submit. Then we have to send the data. Actually, we have to send the data in the database. So that's why we need to submit. That's why button type button submit, value submit, and submit. So we are adding one button here. So this is the total HTML file. Here actually what we are doing, it is the property binding. Button type button, disable, we are disable the button. We can enable the button also. We can disable the button also or enable the button also. And then click call function. In the moment we click the button, then the button will actually enable. Then disable button. In the moment we are disable the button, that's it. The same line again, disable button type button, disable is unchanged one. Click call on, this is the another function. This is one function call function. This is the another function call on. There are 2 buttons. That's why for the 2 buttons, there are dedicatedly 2 function. Call function and call on. Then disable button 2. Disable button, you can say it is disable button 1 or disable button 2. 2 buttons. Okay, so let's run this program. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it is node modules is installed. See, this is the node, these are the all library supportive library packages of the node.js. It is all installed actually. And then we will run the project now. Okay, now in this we can do in this. Okay, it is compiled successfully. So let's go to the website and yeah. It is not reachable actually. Why not? Okay, let me check. Okay, Abdul, can you share the screen? I think it the node modules have installed. Yes. Okay. Now just right here ng sir. Yeah, it is going on. Okay, now go to your browser. And right here, colors 4200. Yes, Angular on data binding, enter name, address, ID 13. This is one kind of object. Then we are added two pictures and then button. Yes. Yeah. Now the color is red. This is the class, and then if you click the PCS Global link, it will go to the PCS Global website and then submit. Yes. Hmm. Okay, now back on this. Go back. Okay, now this is the disable, but okay, now give me a control again. Yeah, we go to again the VS Code. In the VS Code, we understand the HTML. Now we understand the CSS. CSS is nothing. We can just here do the each one. Background color we give aqua and dot C1 which is the type of class, and they give the blue. There are two colors actually we have added in the CSS file. In that aqua color we have added in the this is the aqua color. This is the aqua color we have added, and this is the blue color. This link is blue color we have added inside the link text. Okay, now this is the one-way data binding. Now we go to the app component.txt. App component is so this is the import component Angular code. This is the added component selected app root. This is the keyword. This is the URL. This is HTML URL. This is the CSS URL, style URL. And after that, just automatically made one class that is called app component. Inside the app component, what I have said, your project name will be there. Title Angular one way data binding. This is your project name. Angular one way data binding, and then name. I have added name, address, and ID. The three parameter I have added. Three property actually I have added. Name, enter address, and enter ID. That enter name, enter address, enter ID, you can see here. See, in the moment, you just again refresh this. Enter name, enter ID, enter address. This text are coming from where? These text are coming from there. Enter name, enter address, enter ID. These three text will show there. And after that, item image URL. Item image URL is coming from this HTML file. Item image URL. See, these three item image one and item image URL. These two things actually coming from there. See the same thing. Item image URL and item image one. I have just added one image here. That image, the first image, uh, this image, this cat image I have added, and this is the second image. These two images are actually second image, but this is the more height and width is more bigger size, and this is the smaller size image. But these two images are same. So this is the and this is the second image. and then is unchanged is false, and is unchanged is false. See, these two property also we have taken from this. See, is unchanged, is unchanged one. These two property we have taken from here, and we can paste here. Is false. Okay, so in the moment I am, it is giving the true actually. For the button one. So what can do? See, the button is disabled. This button is enabled, but this button is disabled. Because we disabled is true. That's why. If we do again disable false, then this button will again appear. Right now, this button is disabled. Now again we are doing here false. Is unchanged equals to false. Okay, in the moment I am giving it false, then we can go to the see. Again it is enabled. So that is the function actually. When the moment you disable the button, it will be disabled, and in the moment you don't disable, it will appear again. So here actually the width is 300 pixel, height 300 pixel. I have added here value red, and it's the C1 class name. This is the CSS class C1, and that class this is the CSS class C1, and that class we are adding in the CSS file. That C1 class, and that C1 class, it is blue. It is blue actually. And now we are adding the call function, these two functions, call function and call on function, two functions. Call function, this is the event binding in Angular, welcome. And after that, in the call on function, we just printed two lines, button test and welcome one. These two four lines we are just print. And now here I am just taking one property user. And after that, we are taking parameter user ID and user name, 13 and some name and yeah, just 1 minute.
Hello.
Yeah, just on me. One call actually is coming. That's it. Okay. Next. Okay. Okay. Just give me control. Now here 13 and Devo. Just I am saying. Actually, it is. Yes. Now it is 13. See, it is 13 and Devo. These two things is printed here. And here each ref value equals to this. So this is the our this is the hypertext reference, and this is the hypertext. This is the hypertext reference. So in the moment you click the link, then we will go to the website. So this is our total one data binding program project actually. One data binding. Okay, so understand. And here you don't need to do anything. Here just tsconfig file is there, and in the tsconfig file all is fine. And here you need to give state true. Just check, and it will be fine. So this is the one-way data binding. Okay, now we are now going to the our next topic that is called two-way data binding. So I am giving, okay, so I am making one zip and then give you the two data binding topic in the Zoom chat. Just
Okay.
data binding. Yes, okay. I think I have sent. Check in the Zoom chat. Download first.
Yeah, it is loading, downloading. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it has downloaded. Okay, it has downloaded completely, or it is downloading. Hello, Abdul. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello, Abdul. Hear me? It has downloaded. Okay. Okay. Now, just yeah, open in Open the new folder, extract first. In the two-way data binding, we have property binding, event binding, and inputs and outputs. In the two-way data binding, we have property binding and event binding. Property binding, yes, and event binding. Event binding, okay. Now I'm giving you a link to data binding. Now two-way data binding, I'm giving you the example of being a little bit theory actually, two-way data binding. I'm giving in the chat box here. To data binding, the data flow is bidirectional. That means the data is coming when you submit the form, that data is going to the database and stored in the database. And when we fetch the data, then the data will come from opposite side. That means from database to the user. So the data will come and go by the bidirectional. That is called two-way data binding. Okay, one link also I am sharing for two-way data binding syntax actually. Data binding. That two-way data binding. This one. I'm sharing one link for the data binding theory. You don't need to go through very deep, just now see that example. That will be honest. And for the property binding, what is property binding? Set a specific element property. I am sending, this is the property binding. Property binding sets a specific element property. And what is event binding? Event means event listener. It listens for an element changing event. That is the event binding. See, I am giving in the chat box. That will set a specific element of binding. Why it is showing too much time of because it is just only take 3 to 4 seconds. Step into. Okay, it is extracting. Okay, just stop the screen sharing. I have just shared because let's see. Okay. Okay, yeah, I stop the screen sharing. Hello, stop the screen sharing. Okay. Now see here actually I'm giving you that to a data binding. This is the two-way data binding that I have given to you. Okay, so this is the two-way data binding. Okay, first of all, the similar way, we first of all we go to the app component.html. Inside the app component.html, first of all, this is two-way data binding. And here we are using the ng model. Ng model is one kind of model, that is the structural directive. Ng model is one kind of structural directive. We are using in two-way data binding. So that's why input type text and ng model title. Input type text, ng model name, email, and address. The two-way data binding. When we are using the two-way data binding, then we need to use the ng model. The structural directive we need to use. Title, name, email, and address. Then we are using the interpolation. Title, name, email, and address. This is the interpolation for binding the data. We need to bind the data for the interpolation. So this is a total HTML file. And then there is nothing in the CSS. Now we come to the app component.ts. Okay, there is no, the error is coming because of the node modules, because we don't have node modules. That's why you need to install the node modules. npm install. In the moment the node modules will install, then the error will go on. Okay, so let it install, and then we'll go to again the code. Okay, so here we are in the app component.ts file. The app component.ts, there is selector, template URL, style URL there as usual, and then it is the app component class, and we are using the title to determine that is the project name, and the name, suppose I am giving here, and name. Okay, I am giving the name here, then I am given some email, and I am given the address. Okay. So the name, email, and address should be same with the HTML file. This name, email, and address. Name, email, and address. Okay. So this is the our app component.ts file. And In the app component app module.ts file, we just need to add forms module, because module is what? Browser module means for the support for the running this project in the browser, we need to add browser module. App routing module means, suppose if you want to go one link to the another link, then we need to add this library module. That is called one module. This is a one kind of library module. This is called app routing module, and this is the forms module. For supporting the forms, actually, we need to add the forms module. That's it. And then for bootstrap, and then is the app module class. See, this is the app module class. Okay. Now the root modules are already installed. And here we need to import browser module. It is browser module, then app routing module, and then forms module. See, we need to import the forms module. Forms module, browser module, and app routing module. Okay, so this and this is the app routing module. You don't want to do anything here. And the TS config file also there. And here stick, it will be sub git response. That is fine. Let's run this. Okay, so it is compiled successfully. Actually, this is not error actually. That's why we have compiled successfully. And if you give here false, let's okay. So this is our two-way data binding project. Okay, I will stop sharing. Okay, now Abdul, share the screen. No, it is one-way data binding. Why it is two-way data binding? No, no, not here. Go to file, yes. Open folder. Two-way data binding. Two-way data binding. Yeah, yes. Select. Okay, now give me control. This is the SRC, this is there. This all the other things is there. And we just need to give new terminal. Okay, node module is already installed. to data binding. So we need to just ng serve. Okay, it is compiled successfully. Now go to the browser. Yes, it is to a data binding. See, if you refresh this again, to a data binding, yes. The data are actually, we have submitted the data and then the data is coming here in the browser. So data are come actually go and come. So that's why it is called to a data binding. The data are go and then it will come also to a data binding and it will come. All the details actually is coming here. Okay, so this is the to a data binding topic. So today we have done the data binding one and two data binding. Okay, understood little bit.
Bit understand.
Hmm. Okay, just practice at home. Just practice in home 1 or 2 times.
Okay.
Okay, we have done the Angular one way and two data binding, and all and three more topic actually remaining. Then we will finish them. And at last we will do the CAD application of Angular. The CAD application project. Then the Angular will end.
What is
There
event
are
binding?
event binding means event binding. Suppose you want to click the button, that is called event. That in the moment you
Okay.
click the button, one event is called, and then it listen to the data and then it will act like that. So event actually the mean of the event binding is listen for an element, change event. Okay, just
Yeah,
wait.
if I go to the cursor, then automatically the color is changed. Means any button
Yeah. If you
like that.
click the button, that is called the event actually. In the moment you click the
Okay.
button, that is called the event. That I have seen in the chat box. Listens for an element, change element, event. Okay, so today is up to this. Next day we'll continue.
Okay. Thank you.
Next day is Friday.
Okay.
Okay,
Thanks so much for this.
thank you.